Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Clarity Tarot and Astrology. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are all doing very well and are excited for a live reading session. Tonight, we are doing a live love reading, looking at the energy of your person, seeing how they are currently thinking and feeling about you and how they feel about your connection. And then after we do that, I will open up for live readings here on the channel. I am offering free readings tonight. So if you do go into the description box, there is a link where you can sign up. Just go ahead and sign up there, and we'll do your reading right here live on the stream. And if you don't make the free list, you can always just donate for a reading. I also have a list of all of my readings for donations in the description box as well. Hello, Yahira, welcome. And yeah, you can always donate for a reading, or if you want a second reading or you want something different than what I'm offering here, then go ahead and read that. You can see what I'm offering. And if you're watching this on the recorded version and you'd still like to get a reading with me, I do offer private readings. Or if you're just someone that in general just likes private readings, you prefer the privacy, I understand. I do offer private readings as well. You can book those on the website. Okay. So all of the information that you guys want is in the description box. So go ahead and check that out. Alrighty. Oh yeah. And members, if you're a member of the channel, then you can get your free monthly member reading if you haven't used it already. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So let's go ahead and let's get started. And let me check one thing here. Okay, perfect. This is working. All right, there we go. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's begin. So just a couple things that I want to say before this reading. This reading is looking at the energy of a specific person. This reading is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with everyone. So take what does and take what does not. But if you do resonate with it, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, okay? Hello, Jenna. Welcome. All right, girls, let's go ahead and let's get started. So, most important messages in love, please. How is your person currently thinking and feeling about you? How are they thinking and feeling about your connection? What do you need to know? All right, let's go ahead and cut the deck here. Hello, Clinda. Welcome. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's begin. So in your person's current overall energy towards you, we have the Three of Wands. Okay. So last reading that we did, the Three of Wands was actually in the challenge position. And so now that it's coming out as this person's overall energy towards you, it's showing me that things have evolved, things have progressed, and this person is trying to move things forward. Okay. So no longer does this person just want to dream about it or talk about it or, just have it be something that they desire and not take action on. I feel like this person wants to start taking action in regards to your connection. This person wants to start moving things forward. They want to start seeing, how can we take the idea of this connection, our desires for this connection, and start to make it more real, start to make it more tangible, start to bring it more, into our lives. Okay. So that's the way that they are thinking. But with that being said, I also just want to say is that this person has identified you as someone who they want to be a part of their life. Okay. Like that is for sure for them. They're like, they see you, they think about you, and they're like, I want her in my life. That I know. I see her playing a role in my life. I see her being a part of my future in some way, shape, or form. That is what this person has identified at this time. But now it's about, okay, how do we actually make this work? How do we actually come together? Because it's so much easier to dream about a relationship or think about it, and it's very different to do it. Okay. So I do just get the sense that there could be a little bit of um turbulence, let's say, or there could be some like learning experiences that you and him have to go through in order to make this work, okay? Because your life and the way your life is set up and what you're doing versus his life and the way his life is set up is not easily lending itself for you guys to come together. So this does require conscious effort. It's not just going to be like, you know, easy and flowing and, this is just going to happen. No, it's going to require conscious effort and it's going to require both of you really understanding the other person, which is going to require open communication. Okay. All right. So, yeah, just the biggest thing that I'm getting from him right now in regards to you is he's like, how do we move this forward? Now, the way that he's thinking about you right now, we have the 5 of Cups. And I think that this also came out the last reading as well. Hello, Sarah. Welcome. I think this came out the last reading as well in this exact position. Okay. Um, Again, this person is afraid to lose you. This person is afraid to lose you. I'm also getting too that this person maybe is wanting to move things faster than they normally would move things because again they don't want to lose you, right? And that kind of that's kind of a double-edged sword there. um because on one hand I do feel like this is someone who can tend to procrastinate in love, okay? Because of his fears, because of his insecurities, because of his doubts, or just simply like being lazy, right? Like he can definitely tend to do that, okay? And he has done that in the past. But on the other side, it's like he may not necessarily be ready for everything that you're wanting. So this is what I'm getting from this card. It's like, I want you, but I don't know if I'm ready for you. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. It's like, I know I need to make a move. I know I can't just, you know, um, be passive here, right? Like he knows he can't just be passive. He knows he needs to take some type of well thought out action. He needs to have a plan. He needs to, really think about what he's doing here with you. Okay. But he's also unprepared for that. Like, I feel like he's kind of like, "Oh my god, I didn't think I was gonna meet somebody like this right now?" But he also understands, like, you have to seize the opportunity. You have to take advantage of the opportunity when you get it, and right now, you're, like, being served up to him on a platter? It's like, "Here you go." And he's like, "Oh my god," like, "I'm not necessarily ready for that, but I also don't wanna lose this too." So, some of his actions that he may be taking are kind of coming out of fear, right? It's sort of coming out of the fear of losing you as opposed to, him actually being ready and him actually um feeling stable and him actually feeling secure and feeling like, I'm ready to take this relationship forward. It's more of like, no, I have to take this forward because if I don't, I'm going to lose her. That's more of where it's at. So he feels this mix of like, it's like pressure, overwhelm, excitement, like obviously he has love for you, desire for you, passion for you, but it's also paired with a lot of like overwhelm too. Like that's like kind of the big thing I'm getting is like overwhelm. So the way he feels about you, we have the 2 of Pentacles. Yes, you may notice this. You may notice this with him where it's like one day or 1 second he feels really stable, he feels really solid. You're like, "Okay, yeah, like this is really working and we're on the same page and things are progressing nicely and, the connection is just, getting deeper and deeper." And then there could be other days where it's like you don't know where he's at or he's seems kind of distant or you don't know if what you were feeling the day before is right. You may kind of feel this like back and forth from him. And that's exactly what I was referring to with the previous card. He's not like what he's certain about is that he likes you. What he's certain about is that he wants to keep you around. He wants you there. But what he's not certain about is, what's the long-term direction of this connection? And what do I have to offer? And feeling solid in himself, that's what he's not certain about. So that's why this is sort of like going back and forth. It's like wavering because he didn't have really any intention when he met you. This has more been because he met you and because of the feelings he has for you. He's like figuring it out as he goes. So as things come up where, you know, you're maybe looking for answers or you're looking for clarity or you want to know how he feels, he's like, hold on, let me figure it out. Let me think about that because he just doesn't know. So, you know, it's it's like it's really hard for him. I wanna say that. It's really hard for him because he doesn't want to look unprepared. He doesn't want to look like he doesn't know what he's doing, or he doesn't wanna look like, he's not serious, right? He doesn't wanna look like that, but also he knows if he doesn't do anything at all, you're not gonna take him seriously. You're gonna maybe look elsewhere, right? You're not going to, um want to participate in this. So he's in this point where it's like he has to act even if his actions are not the best actions. Okay? So this connection for him, it's really expanding him. It's making him have to grow. It's making him have to think bigger, think longer term, figure things out about himself, deal with problems that had kind of been lingering that he just was sweeping under the rug because there really was no incentive or pressure to deal with it. So, what I want to say for you, like you're like gasoline or you're like fire in his life. It's like, yeah, I'd say fire is a better way to put it. It's like you're kind of putting a fire under him and he likes the fire feels good, but it's also making him have to get up and move and do things. So, it's good but it's uncomfortable. So that's what you have to understand about him is it's not like he's just like not, doing things or not expressing himself or whatever. It's like no, he's doesn't really know how he feels. He's figuring this out as he goes. Okay. Jetta says, not that same energy breed that seems to be about Zach and me. All. All right, so let's see how he feels about the connection right now. Okay, I have 2 cards that wanted to come out. Wow. We have the Page of Swords. Oh my god, and the Hermit. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, he is so afraid that you're going to walk away. Like that's his biggest fear. His biggest fear is that you are going to walk away. You're going to lose interest in him. You're going to find someone better and he's going to be on the outside watching you be happy with somebody else. That's his biggest fear. Now, why he's afraid of that tells me that either A, he's been in that situation, right? That's happened to him before, where, he lost out on somebody that he really liked because he wasn't ready, because he didn't take action, because, something happened. So that's one thing. And the other thing is it's a combination kind of like, and this goes with the Page of Swords that I'll talk about in a second, like him just generally not feeling good enough um for you, and also having this fear of abandonment, because we see that with the 5 of Cups and how he thinks about you as well, being afraid you're going to walk away. So I'm getting strong feelings of, or a strong fear of abandonment here. And so that may also have been something that has happened to him in his lifetime, where, you know, he needed someone emotionally and that person wasn't there, wasn't available, disregarded his feelings, okay? And so that's created a deep, you know, just a deep distrust, or a deep, how can I say it? A deep void almost is what I feel, like a deep void. I'm also getting to this wants to go a little bit deeper. Like I feel like he maybe wasn't seen. Okay, he wasn't seen, like his needs were not seen. So maybe he needed something emotionally and he couldn't express and explain that he needed it, but he also wasn't seen. The adults around him or the people around him didn't see his need, and so he also felt abandoned. Okay, so maybe people were physically there, but they didn't show up for him. Okay, so he has this like deep thing here about being seen and getting his needs met, and other people recognizing when he needs something, or other people recognizing his emotions, and he's afraid that you have the power over him where you can walk away, or you're the one that's going to not meet his needs, and then you're going to be the one that makes him feel this way. Okay, so that that is something that he, number one, needs to become conscious of. He needs to become conscious of the fact that he has this inside of him, and he also needs to detach you from that role, or not give you so much power, because he's kind of putting himself in the position where it's like he's powerless and you have power, and it's like, no, that's not true. But that's the way that he's taking it, is you have the power to hurt me, you have the power to break my heart, you have the power to leave me feeling a type of way that I don't want to feel. And so that feels very vulnerable. This connection, this relationship feels very vulnerable for him. And the card that came out with this is the Page of Swords. So on the card, there's a man and he's on his knees, like begging for a woman's attention. Okay. So again, that's how he feels with you. And you may be like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, I'm giving him attention. What are you talking about? but he feels like he feels like he needs to work for that attention, or he needs to um like he needs to beg for your attention. Like he feels like he and one thing you may notice with him is he may contact you a lot. He may contact you a lot. He may send you a lot of messages. He may call you a lot, send you a lot of pictures, send you a lot of voice messages, whatever. Like he may try to remain in contact with you. And that's his way of trying to make sure that you're there and that you're not leaving. It's not necessarily coming from a place of like, I just want to be in contact with you, it's coming more from a place of fear. Like, if I don't stay in contact with you, you're going to leave. Okay. So that's that. But one thing I want to say before the challenge, before we pull the card for the challenge, is that I feel that one of the purposes of this connection, why you and this person have been put together, was to trigger this in this person. Okay? Was to trigger this in this person. So I don't want you to sit here and think about like what can I do to change this or alleviate this or to make him feel better? No. I feel like this might be a situation, an opportunity really, for this person to overcome this. Because I reckon this is not the first time that this fear has potentially sabotaged a relationship for him. So it feels like this is, you know, almost like divinely orchestrated in a way to give this person an opportunity to work through this. The question is, are they going to work through this? So we will look at that as we kind of go into the cards more and look at like what comes next. Okay. Sarah, thank you so much. That is so sweet. All right. So let's see what the challenge is. Obviously, we pulled a lot up already, but let's see what comes through as the challenge. Knight of Cups. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Another thing with this person is they feel like, number one, they feel like you're so beautiful. Like, they feel like you are so beautiful. This person, low key, high key, definitely put you on a pedestal. Okay. Um, and like that's like sweet and all, like, oh wow, like they think I'm beautiful and they think I'm very valuable and very worthy and all of that. And that's great and that's wonderful. But there's also a part of it where this person kind of puts distance between the two of you. Is there like she's over there and I'm over here, or she's up there and I'm down here. Like he sort of doesn't see you guys as equals. He sees you as something that he has to work for, something that he has to conquer, something that he has to earn, which is that's good, but um I think he kind of like over exaggerates it a little bit. It's a little bit over exaggerated where it's like he doesn't see his own value. He doesn't see how valuable he is. And that's where it may be very confusing to you because you're like, are you kidding me? Like, he's such a great person. He's so fine. He's so sexy. He's so successful. He's all of these things. You may think all of these positive things about him, but he doesn't see that. Like, he doesn't see what you see. And even if you tell him, you're always telling him, you're giving him reassurance, you're giving him validation, you're telling him it's not until he feels it himself, like he is able to look in the mirror and feel these things for himself, that he's going to actually believe that he's worthy of you and worthy of this and can do this. So, oh boy, this is a lot. This is a lot, a lot, a lot. Okay, so let's go a layer deeper here. Let's see. Let's get a little bit deeper into his brain right now. All right, so in his overall energy, just looking at him and then comparing that to the energy that he's bringing to the connection, we have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, so he in his own life, okay, take you out of the picture, take your connection out of the picture. He feels very scattered, or he feels like there's a lot of things competing for his energy, his time, his attention, his money. It's like something is coming at him from every angle. Like he feels like there's no safe place, okay? Um wow. Yeah, like he feels very mm, I want to say vulnerable. Like he feels very vulnerable. Like an arrow can come from any angle and just take him out, okay? Like that's kind of how he feels. Like he doesn't feel like he has strong defenses right now. Um it's not that he feels weak. I don't get that. It's just like he has no armor, I guess, is like the best way to say. He doesn't feel like he has any armor. And so it's just like every day there's something. It's something from over here, it's something from over there, it's something from over there. And so I feel that your connection is like the one positive thing he has. It's like the one thing he has where it's good. He can like count on it in a sense. He knows there's going to be like love there, you know what I mean? Like it's just like the one thing. And so I feel like sometimes he will almost kind of like escape with you in a sense, or like escape into a fantasy with you, or he might be dealing with something hard, but then he'll start thinking about, oh, I want to do this with her, or like, when I get this together, then her and I can do this. It's like kind of like that. So this Three of Wands that we pulled initially, that's where it's stemming from. It's stemming from the fact that he feels very his reality is very real, and his reality is not comfortable, and he sort of leans on you to get that comfort in a sense, okay? So there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Whether you know about that, you don't know about that, even if you do know about it, you may not know the extent to it, or you may not know how much it psychologically affects him. But what he's going through in his life, separate from you, does psychologically affect him a lot right now. Okay, clarifying the Five of Cups here and kind of seeing where he's at mentally. Five of Swords, guys. Guys. Yeah. Yeah, he is, man, oh man. Mm. Yeah, he just feels like Okay, there's multiple things. On one hand, number one, he knows what you want. And not only does he know what you want, like he thinks you deserve it, right? Like what you want from him, what you're looking for, it's not unreasonable. You're not asking for anything crazy. You're well within your, right to desire what you want from him, whether that's you want a commitment from him or you want more consistency or you want exclusivity or whatever it is that you're looking to do. He's like, yeah, of course, I would love to do that. But this is all I have right now. Like he's kind of saying like, I know what you want, but this is what I have. And he's like hoping you'll take that. He's hoping that you'll take what he can give you and still stay and be satisfied with that. Not because you don't deserve more, he doesn't want to give you more, but he's like, this is all I have. Like I really don't have any more, but he's like, when I do have more, I will give it to you. I will give you more than what you want. I will spoil you essentially, but he's just saying right now, like I'm just getting like right now I'm in a bad season, or right now I'm having a hard time, or right now I'm struggling, or right now I just need this from you. Um, and there could be some things that he wants from you that you're like, I'm not going to give that to you, So there could be some tension, right? Or maybe you want him to act a certain way, you want him to be a certain way, and he's like, I can't do that. And you're like, well, that's fine, but I can't tolerate you the way you are right now. So you're just definitely on different pages. And before this reading and today when I was at the gas station, they were playing the song Too Sweet by Hosier. And I've heard that song a million times, but for some reason I was like, I want to like look at the lyrics. And essentially what that song is saying is like, you know, you're too sweet. Like, you're too sweet for me. Like, I'm more whiskey, I'm bitter, I'm dry, and you're sweet and you're bright. And you need someone who's sweet and bright, like you are. And I need someone that's, dry and bitter like me, right? We can't give each other what the other person needs right now, and that's okay. It's okay that you want what you want, but I also want what I want, or I need what I need. And if I could be sweeter and brighter, I would, but I can't. And if you could be bitter and dry, you I'm sure you would, but you can't. And so that's sort of what I'm getting here. It's like he sees you and he gets you and he's like, yes, 100%, like would give you the world, would spoil you, protect you, provide for you, be your knight in shining armor, would do all of that for you. You're worth it. You're you're so deserving of that, but I only have this. Like, I only got this. So it's like, are you going to take that? And so that's where you may find yourself at an impasse with this person, because it's like, well, no, no. So that's the thing. Requires, this requires him to step up to be not only the person that you want him to be, but to be the person that he wants to be. It's like, not only does he have to show up for you, he has to show up for himself, right? Like, he's got to be a better person for himself, and he's got to want to be a better person for himself and want to go through all of the effort that it's going to take to do that, right? So you're like, and I think I said this last time, you're not the solution. You're not the answer. You're just the motivation. You're just the inspiration. You're just the carrot dangling on the stick, but he's the one that's actually got to do the work. He's the one that's actually got to move forward and do it. And it's really up to you to decide, well, how long are you going to, kind of let him do that or let him figure that out before, you may potentially have to move on, which is his biggest fear, which is his literal biggest fear, that he's not going to be good enough, that he's not going to become what you want fast enough or, at the standard that you want, and you're going to move on. So it's like he could do all this and he could work on changing himself, and it could potentially not even be enough for you, or potentially not, happen fast enough for you. So it feels like a risk, it feels risky. It feels like, oh my God, this is so hard. Like, everything about this for him is hard. Though he may really like you and see you very positive and think you're amazing and you're beautiful and all of that, being with you is hard. It's hard for him. And so that's something that you have to understand. It's not so easy. It's not just like, oh, well, why doesn't he just do this? Why doesn't he just do that? It's way deeper than that. Okay. Hello, Empress Gemini. Welcome. Yes, Yahira, bitter and dry, girl. Bitter and dry. Hi, Andrea. All right. So let's go another layer deeper here. Okay. So how he feels right now, I have the 8 of Cups and I also have the 2 of Wands. Yep. Again, so this is clarifying that 2 of Pentacles where, you might be experiencing him as hot and cold or wishy-washy. And it's 12-12 where I am. Okay. So with this 8 of Cups, he needs to let go of the emotional weight and baggage of the past. There is something from his past that has too much control over him or too much power over him. Like, he had some type of experience that happened, like we talked about previously, that has literally shaped him. It's shaped him and it's molded him into becoming the person that he is today. And he's really got to let that go. Like, he doesn't have to let the past define him. He can choose to be a different person today. He can have a fresh start. He can have a clean slate. He just has to choose that. And how he's going to get to that is by facing the past head on. However, what I'm getting for the majority of people is that this person that we're talking about, you know, they they don't they don't want to do that. Not that they don't want to do it, like, oh, I'm not going to do that. It's like, it's hard. It's painful. It's difficult, right? It's not fun to relive experiences that didn't go the way you wanted, experiences that caused pain, experiences that cause heartbreak, but that's the only way through. The only way out of this for this person is to move through it. And that's the only way they get to you, 2 of Wands, right? That's the only way that they get to you and are able to really show up with you with full force, with full power, with full um how can I say it? Like, full, like, the uninhibited version of themselves. Because what you're experiencing now with them is an inhibited version of themselves, right? It's the version of themselves that they have um created to adapt from the past experiences. So when they felt the emotional unavailability or the heartbreak or the pain or the trauma, whatever, they learned, okay, here's how to cope, right? They learned how to cope. So they came up with a version of themselves that just knows how to cope. But had they not had that experience or if they healed from that experience, there's a version of themselves where they're going to shine much brighter. There's a version of themselves where they're going to be so much more free. Okay, free. And they feel like with you, they get like a taste of that. They get a taste of that freedom. The way that they're able to express themselves with you, or the vision they see with you, the life they see with you, the possibilities they see with you, they're like, wow, with her, I'm going to be free. But what he doesn't understand is that freedom doesn't come from just being with you. It's like he's got to show up in the proper energy, and he has to build this connection with you, right? And the building blocks of the connection are intimacy and trust and communication and love and all of these things. He's got to come with those things to build the relationship. And right now he feels like you're coming with so much more, right? You're coming with so much more patience, understanding, compassion, empathy, all of the things that are needed to build a relationship. He feels like you're coming to the table with so much more, and he's coming with so much less. So he feels a little bit insecure about that. And as he tries to find these things, right? He tries to give you more emotions. He tries to give you more openness. There's a part of him that's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 are you crazy? Like, you do that, we're gonna get hurt. You do that, something bad's gonna happen. You do that, she's gonna leave," right? So there's a part of him that he's actively having to fight and go against to be with you. So it's like for him to be with you, for him to do this with you, it takes tremendous effort, tremendous courage. But like the fast track out of that would be just to deal with the past. Like if he just deals with the past, reconciles the past, works through the past, he will be in such a better place. Okay? He'll be in such a better place, but he has to like admit that to himself. He doesn't really need to admit it to you. He needs to admit it to himself more than anything. Okay, so how he feels about life in general right now and clarifying the Page of Swords, we have the Ace of Cups. Yeah. Oh my God. It's so sad because really, like, the number one thing that he wants right now is love, but the number one thing he's scared of is love. So it's like he wants you, he wants you, but he's scared of you. So because he's scared of you, instead of coming to the connection with his king energy, he's coming with page. And you're like, why are you coming as a page? Like, I thought you were a king, be a king. So this is something that he has to do. And so what I want to say, and this is what you don't want to do. Okay. Don't fill the role that he should be playing. Don't take the lead because he's not taking the lead. It's better for you to just interact with him at the level that he's at. Don't try to step into the role that he should be playing, because then you'll be doing that for your whole connection. You're always going to be the one that's going to have to take initiative, take the lead, take control, move things forward, always managing the connection. No. That's his job. And if he's not doing that, then don't do it. Disengage, step back, kind of, look at him like, I don't know what to do. I'm waiting for you to take action, so he feels the pressure of, oh my God, I got to get it together. I got to get myself together. I got to step up. So if he sees you kind of stepping down, then he will be like, oh God, I have to step up. But if you step up, he'll be like, okay, she's going to lead the connection forward. And you don't want to do that. It's better even to like not even talk to this person if they're not coming with the right energy, because you're energetically showing them, I'm not going to deal with you if you're not in the right energy. I'm not going to deal with the boy energy. I deal only with kings. So when you're a king, when you're in control, when you have a plan, then I'll follow you. But I'm not going to follow around this boy energy of, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like playing around. Okay, let me go over here. Like if you follow them around when they're like that, like they have no incentive to grow. They have no incentive to grow and to get better. So he has to be the one to go, okay, if this is what I really want, I need to feel the fear, and I need to do it anyways. I need to feel the fear of being vulnerable and being exposed and being in love. I need to feel that, and I need to just do it anyways if that's really what I want. And if he wants it bad enough, he'll do it. So sometimes you have to sort of like make the situation kind of bad or make the situation uncomfortable to make them step up. Right? You have to sort of lose the battle to win the ultimate war. And that might be necessary in this particular situation is, you may have to say like, okay, if you're not going to lead this forward, then I guess we suffer, and it's your fault because I'm here, I'm ready, and you're not. So I guess we suffer. I guess we just don't do this. And put him in that position where it's in your court now. If you're so afraid for me to leave, then step up, or I am going to leave. Okay. All right. So the challenge with him specifically in his life, though, we've pulled many challenges, right? We've kind of been, really going in on this guy, but let's see what card wants to come through. The Sun. Wow. It's just his confidence. It's just confidence. Yeah, bottom of the deck, I have King of Swords. Confidence and feeling mentally strong. That's the hardest part, the hardest thing for him ultimately right now is just feeling mentally strong and like knowing his reason why and knowing what the purpose is, like the purpose of getting up every day and going to work. It's hard, but why am I doing this? Having that grit, having that unshakable willpower, that unshakable knowing that the hard work is leading to something, right? Like he just doesn't feel locked in. Let's say he's not locked in at this particular moment in time, and that's when he feels most confident. When he's locked in, when he has a plan and he knows what he's doing and he has a goal and he's going after it, and getting results, that's when he feels most confident. But right now, I feel like he doesn't really have a particular goal. He doesn't really have anything he's necessarily working for, or if he is, it's not super enticing that it's making him get out of his comfort zone enough, like there's just nothing um that he's like hunting right now. There's nothing that he's trying to kill in his life right now. And that's what he needs. He needs something that really is driving him and moving him. That's not you. Okay. That's not you. Because right now, you are like the thing that's driving him. You are like the most interesting or most exciting thing. And that sounds nice, like, "Oh, wow," that sounds nice to be that for somebody, but he needs something more where he's bringing you along on his journey. That's really when he's gonna feel much, much, much better. Okay, so before we move on, I really quickly just want to clarify the sun and see, which area of his life is being most heavily impacted by his lack of confidence. Ninth house. Wow. So it's in his beliefs, in his spiritual life. Like he maybe doesn't know what he believes in, or maybe he did believe in something and he's like, nah, I don't know. He doesn't really have like a framework that he's working with, or potentially the framework that he did have, he's like realizing, okay, that's not really working. Like for a lot of people, a big framework for a lot of people was like the American dream, right? Work hard, save money, invest, and then you can buy a home and, property and land, and you're going to be safe forever and you're going to have no problems and you're going to ride off into the sunset. Like a lot of people now realize like, okay, like that is not really a dream. It's kind of more of a nightmare now. And that's very out of reach for many, many people. And, you know, that really is what drove many, many people for many years. What was the reason, was the motivation to get up and work and, do everything. But now a lot of people are going, I don't know if I want that. Or I don't know if I can have that. I don't know. Maybe I'm priced out of that dream. So it's something like that for him, where there was something that he was like thinking was the whole purpose. And he thought, like, okay, if I do this, this is going to make me happy. And now he's realizing, like, either I don't want that, I know that's not going to make me happy, or that's too hard, or whatever. So now he's like, now what? Like, now why am I working? Now what am I doing it all for? So he's having some type of crisis in regards to, like, why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the point? What's the meaning of all of this? That's kind of the crisis that he's currently having. So before, he maybe felt very confident because he knew what he was working for. Now he doesn't feel confident because he doesn't know what he's working for. He's just working just to work, right? He's just working to pay the bills, just going through the motions, but it's not really meaning or feeling like it's leading to anything meaningful for him. Okay. All right. So let's see what comes next with this. Okay. So knowing all of that, let's see like what comes next. What are his intentions with you? What are his next actions? What can you expect? What's the outcome of all of this? Okay, so his intentions with this is the Two of Swords. Okay. Mm. So, yes, his intention is to continue to try to offer you more of what you want. So, what that tells me is that he's probably not going to be able to offer you probably what you're really wanting, but he is going to try to attempt to give you some percentage of that, to give you 10% of that or 20% of that or, 50% of that. But I don't feel like he's in a position to give you everything that you're wanting, but it is something that he desires. He desires to be enough for you. He desires to make you happy. Okay? He desires to be someone important in your life. He wants to be a part of your life. He wants to be someone that you lean on. He wants to be someone that you to be for you to feel like he is your rock. Okay? He wants you to think when I have a problem, I call so and so, right? Like he wants you to feel like that about him. He wants you to feel safe with him, secure with him, and that he's meeting all of your needs. Okay. He genuinely, 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 from the bottom of his heart, really, 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 really wants to be that person. Right. And it's not even only that he wants to do it for you, it's also that he wants to do it for himself. He wants to be the type of man who is someone else's most important person. He wants to be the type of man who is who someone else is turning to, right? Because if that was true, then that must mean he probably is a pretty good person. If a person like you is relying on him, then that would mean he would probably have to be a pretty good person, right? And he wants to be a good person. That's why he likes you so much because he sees himself being a version of himself that's better than who he is right now. That's more aligned with the version of himself that he sees in his head. So he's like with you, it's like it's an opportunity, right? This with you is an opportunity. It's a pathway. It's a chance to be more, to be better. So it's not just all about like, does he like me and da 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 da. It's like, no, it's so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. And getting you, being with you, winning you over, right, would just be the prize essentially for the work that he would have to do on himself, right? Like the work that he would have to do on himself to be everything you're looking for, the hardship and the struggle that he would have to go through to become that person, you would just be the prize, like that's the real battle, let's say. And so that's why, you definitely want him to work. You want him to work and you want him to earn you because he also wants that too. He wants to be challenged. He wants to level up. So don't make it easy for him. Don't make this easy for him. Don't make it easy. Make it hard for him because that's how he's going to grow. That's how he's going to grow. Okay? All right. So the next action you can expect from him, what action he's going to take to try to become this better version of himself, to try to become more of what you're looking for. We have the Page of Pentacles. So he feels like he needs to kind of start from scratch, or go back to basics or work on stabilizing himself. That's where he knows to start. And it's Pentacles, so it's more in the material, physical world. And also we are in Taurus season, right? So we're all much more aware of our real physical environment and our real physical, material situations. So that's what he feels that he needs to focus on right now. He feels like he needs to go back to basics. He needs to, make sure that he's financially in a good place. He needs to make sure that, everything is taken care of. He needs to make sure that he feels good in his home, his living situation, that everything is like well maintained and taken care of and all of that. Like he kind of feels that's where he feels that he can exert control right now. He can exert control over his physical space. He can exert control over his finances. He can exert control over also how he shows up as well, right? Taurus deals with food, how he is nourishing his body, right? He may want to kind of really look at his diet. He may want to really look into his like exercise regime and all of that, and develop consistency there, right? If he wants to be consistent to you, then he maybe has to be consistent to himself, right? So that may be his way, his method of kind of stabilizing and grounding himself. So what you may find over like let's say the next 30 days or so is that he's seemingly, right, seemingly not taking any action towards you. But really, everything he's doing is for you, right? All the work he's doing on himself and on his finances and in his life is for you, right? It's indirectly for you. It's in hopes that you'll find him, more reliable, right? Or find him more, yeah, reliable. That's the word. You'll find him more reliable. That it will somehow win you more. If he takes care of certain things in his life, it'll somehow win you over more. So he may not be coming with the roses and the flowers and the nice words and the chocolates and the candies, but what you may see is he's working harder. He's more disciplined, so he's not texting as much. He's not calling as much. He's not wanting to see you as much because he's focused on other things. You may see that as like, well, what's happening? And it's like, no, nothing's happening. He's just growing up, basically, he's growing up. And the more stable he is, the more he's going to be able to offer you. Because right now, maybe he can offer you is conversation, right? With this Page of Swords, lots of conversation, lots of conversation, lots of conversation. Um, but, you know, it's not like, it's not really, it's not really meaning anything, right? His conversation may not mean as much as you think, right? What he's saying may not have as much weight as you think. Like you may think his word, when he says his word, this is true, but for him, it's just more of like, again, this is all I have. This is my attempts to, you know, again, try to keep you around. So he's going to do a little less of that, right? A little less of attempting and trying to keep you around and actually doing the things that will actually keep you around. Okay. So just don't mistake a dip in communication or don't mistake a dip in interaction with him or whatever and think, oh, he's uninterested. No. It's just he's doing the actual real life tangible things that are going to make him more attractive to you. Jenna, it's fine. Don't worry about it. If you're signed up and you're on the list, you're fine. Okay, so the outcome at this time, the outcome of this whole big old reading, this reading was like, whoa, wow. I actually have the Magician in reverse. And I never, why is that in reverse? Yeah, all my cards are upright. This is coming out in reverse. So, and I have the Hanged Man. Yeah. Yeah. I would I would expect from this to see less development, okay? To see less movement again, especially in Taurus season. When we get to Gemini season, you may see him come back online, okay? But in Taurus season, I feel like it's almost like he can't ignore the truth, you know? That's sort of the thing about when we're in the Earth seasons, because Earth seasons are very real. It's like we're dealing with what's in front of our face right now, and I feel like the reality in front of his face is not great, and he can't run from it, right? He can't escape to you, and he can't escape to anything else. He can't escape right now. And he's gotta work through the challenges, but also with Earth, challenges take a long time, right? It's a lot easier to say something and think it than to actually do it, right? You can say, "I wanna get in shape," but to actually get up and pick up the weights and to see when you're gonna see the results, that's months, years down the line, right? So Earth is not easy to work with, and he may find this season hard, especially if he's like a fire sign or an air sign. He may find this season very hard. This season may be very challenging for him. And he may also see, you as well. You may be like busy with your own crap and you don't have time to coddle him and make him feel better about himself. And he may be like, "Oh my God, I need to get on my game. I need to stop expecting her to make me feel better about myself. She has her own things to worry about. I need to do better." So it's like as he's coming to these realizations, you may feel him pulling back, pulling away, becoming less dependent on you. You don't want to freak out and think, "Oh my God, what's happening?" No, it's good. It's good because he should not be heavily leaning on you. He should not be heavily depending on you. He should be depending on himself, leaning on himself, stabilizing himself. That's what he should be doing. And he should be coming to you saying, "Are you okay? Do you need anything? How can I be there for you?" Not trying to take from you, take your emotional energy, right? Siphon your energy. He should not be trying to take your time and, take your emotional labor, right? He shouldn't be trying to take from you. He should be giving to you, right? Nourishing you, not just trying to get something out of you, which is essentially the positioning of the connection right now, where it's like you want more than he has. And it's like, so you really should be looking elsewhere, right? It's like if someone doesn't have what you want, you should be looking elsewhere, right? If you go to the store and they don't have what you're looking for, you don't just stay in that store and hope that it comes around. You go to the next store and see if they have it, right? So it's like if this person doesn't have what you want, then you really should go to the next person until they get what you need in stock and call you back and say, "Wait, okay, now I'm ready for you." But you shouldn't just stand around waiting for them to come up with something that they don't have, okay? So, and vice versa, you may have a lot, but this person may not have enough to pay for it. So, again, you would if you go to the store and you don't have enough money to pay for something, they don't give it to you. You just don't get it. And so that's the thing as well. It's like if this person can't pay for your love, meaning if this person can't treat you the way that you need to be treated in order to give your love safely, to give your love where you don't feel like you're being drained or you don't feel like you're being taken advantage of, then you just don't give them access, right? You just don't give them access. And sometimes you need to feel the pain of not being able to afford something to motivate you to step up, to be able to afford it, right? To work harder. So don't be afraid to create a little space. Don't be afraid to create a little tension. Don't be afraid to create a little friction. Because number one, a healthy connection, long-term connection needs that. It needs friction. It needs tension. It needs that to stay alive. Number one. And number two, it's going to make this person grow. It's going to give them incentive to grow. Instead of just thinking of you as where they can go for just unlimited pleasure, right? So this is sort of I feel like the storyline that's beginning to come forward with this person, right? It's like you're starting to see beyond the initial feelings, let's say, and really see the true dynamic that's going on here. All right, so let's grab some messages from this person. Let's see what they want to say to you. Wow. First message is, I hope you can forgive me one day. Yeah. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to not be able to get what you want, right? To get who you want. That's not a nice feeling, okay? And for him, it doesn't feel good to feel like he's not good enough for you or to feel like he can't give you what you're looking for. And so he hopes that one day he can be that person and that, God willing, he does that, that you will forgive him for not being ready for you, for not being prepared for you, for not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated. Because he could have been doing this or working on this before you and had been ready for the opportunity. So he feels bad about himself, but he also feels bad for the way he's making you feel. And or, you not being able to have full access to him because he's not ready. Okay? And bottom of the deck I can't stop thinking about you. So yes, and that's what you may experience with him. A lot of times you experience him calling you all the time, text you all the time, want to see you all the time, blah blah whatever, because he's thinking about you. But really the reason why God's putting you heavily on his heart and heavily in his head is God is trying to say to him, if you step up, you'll get her. Okay, so it's not you really, it's what God, universe, spirit is trying to do through you to him. Okay. Oh, wow. We then have, I wish I could take my words back. Yeah, more regret here. I feel like this person, they don't like the way that they approached you, or they don't like the way that they kind of maneuvered this with you or something, something along the lines, like the version of themselves that they showed you. They're like, oh my God, if I could go back in time, I would not have started things this way. I would not have approached you this way. I would have approached you, in a much better way, much stronger way, in a way that instills confidence in you or doesn't, not a way that makes you not trust me or things like that. So this person would just really do things over with you again if they could. And they wouldn't want to be at the point you guys are at right now. They wouldn't want to be at this point. They would have hoped to be in a better place. Wow. Yeah, finding out the truth crushed me. Yes, exactly. Because what's the funniest thing about all of this is that this person had no idea this was coming. And what do I have at the bottom of the deck? I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. Yes, this person didn't know when they saw you, when they met you, that they were about to get a spiritual lesson. They didn't know that. They didn't know that. It didn't look like that. It didn't appear to be that way. Okay, you just looked like this really fine girl they were going to try to get at, that was it. They weren't thinking about all of this, but that's what they got. And now they're here. And now they're having to face the reality. I feel like this person felt way more confident when they first approached you, thinking, oh, I've got this in the bag, this is going to go exactly how I want, and I'm going to be in control. But come to find out, you're in control. You're in control. And, but this person already likes you, and so it's hard to disconnect from you because they already like you, but they also feel uncomfortable being out of control. So, do you see how complicated this is? Do you see how intricate this is? Like, this is, deeper than just like, oh, does he like me? Way more complicated than that. Okay, let's grab some oracles from the Romance Angels. Wow. First card, and I think this card came out in the last reading too. Give your relationship a chance. Okay. In no way, shape, or form am I saying, oh, just forget about this. No, because it's also a spiritual lesson for you too. There's also a lot for you to learn here too. There always is. It always goes both ways. It's not just one person. I know we talk a lot about the guy and what he's doing, what he's not doing, what he needs to do, but there's always something on our end because this guy is your mirror. You attracted him also for some reason for you. Okay, so it goes both ways. So, Spirit is saying, stick with this. There's still more to learn here. There's still more to gather and gain from this connection. Don't give up on it, even if it's hard. Okay. Let's see what else. Reconciliation. Yes. Yes. So if you do get kind of like pulled away from this person or the connections slows down significantly or maybe comes to a halt for some of you, maybe there maybe has to be a period of separation, right? Depending on the severity of the wounds we're talking about here, depending on the severity of the trauma, the severity of the attachment styles will depend on all of that. But this will come back around. This will come back around. There will be multiple rounds with this person. There will be multiple rounds. Okay, so this is like round one or round two for you and this person. There will be more. Okay, so you will come back around, and each time it will get better. Bottom of the deck, I have make the effort. This connection is worth the hassle, the trouble, right? The what you're going to learn from this, what you're going to gain from this is worth the difficulties that are required for this. Okay? But you have to think about it that way. You have to understand like this is not just a regular romantic connection. This is a spiritual connection. So it's more and it requires more. And that's why a lot of people have trouble with these connections because they try to work through them like it's just a regular connection. It's like, no, this is a spiritual connection and it requires spiritual solutions to evolve forward. You both have to get spiritually stronger to make it work. Okay, let's see what else. We have this could be the one. Yeah. And on that same note, if both you and him, because it can't just be one of you, it has to be both of you. If both you and him can work through the challenges that are being laid in front of you and move closer together, right? By overcoming those challenges, if you both can do that, then this is going to be your lifetime person. But it requires both of you to win in your own ways, right? Like he has to win the battles in front of him and you have to win the battles in your life, and when you both can do that, you'll come together. Right? It's like almost kind of think about it like you both have a path of obstacles in front of you, but the path is moving towards each other. So it's like every obstacle you guys get closer to each other to where eventually you're fighting the same obstacles together. Now we're both on the same page and we have the same problems and we're both as a team working through these obstacles now. But we only have the skills to do that because we've done it on our own. And now you bring your strengths and I bring my strengths and we fight problems together. But you have to be a fighter on your own first, okay? So that's what it requires. Bottom of the deck I have it is safe for you to love. This connection is safe to proceed with. But you have to know what you're doing. Okay? That's the thing. It's okay to move forward with this, but you need to know what you're doing and you need to properly understand that it's not just him and he's just not the problem. He's the one that's making everything bad. No. There's something that you're needing to do as well, likely. More than likely there's something you can do too, and it's not just always him. Okay, let's get some more messages from Spirit. We have integrity. Okay, integrity. The card says, does this situation align with your values and morals? Okay, so this is a question, asking you is, number one, like, do you really think this person can do it? Do you really think that this person can be the type of person that they have not the ability, but that they actually want to do that? Like, do you think this person actually wants to do this? Because they have to want to do it for themselves more than they want to do it for you. So is this person the type of person that is growth minded? The type of person that takes accountability? Is this the type of person who um shows up for themselves? Or is this someone that is lazy? They procrastinate. They suffer with addiction. They tend to blame other people. They can be victim, right? Like really think about that. You know, is this the type of person that could actually do the work? Okay. We then have unplug. Yes. The card says working less will help to strengthen your relationship. But what I think this is really saying is like you both kind of have to unplug from each other, okay, in order to strengthen the relationship. Like just always talking to each other, always being in communication with each other, always seeing each other is not actually working on the relationship. It's like taking a step back and thinking about the big picture and taking strategic steps forward. That's thinking about the relationship. And that's what I feel this person is doing is they're going, wait a minute, if I want to be with her and I want to show up in this particular way, then I have to have myself set up in a certain way so I can show up. And by talking to her, it doesn't help me to stabilize myself. It's just me distracting myself from doing the hard work and doing the inevitable. So I feel like sometimes over the next, I'd say maybe 30 days, the solution is actually to unplug, right? To unplug and to recognize when they're reaching out, not because it's coming from a place of like genuine love and genuine connection, but it's really more of like, hey, I'm, bored right now, or um I'm struggling right now or whatever, where they're kind of reaching out more, where they're like, make me feel better, not how are you doing? How can I help you? What's going on with you? Right? Like start to identify like when they're reaching out, like what feels like a genuine attempt to connect and what feels more just like them wanting your attention, wanting your validation, wanting your emotional labor, simply just to make themselves feel better. Okay, start to try to differentiate and start to notice how frequently do both of those interactions happen. Are you having more genuine interactions or are they more reaching out to make me feel better interactions? Okay. Last message here, we have here and now. Yeah, and bottom of the deck I have obsession. Okay? So yes, there can absolutely be obsession with you. Like this person could be very obsessed with you, not because they're like actually obsessed with you, but more because they're obsessed with like the idea of you, or they're obsessed of like with like what life could be like with you. It's more of that. And what they need to understand is like they need to be in the here and now, regardless of how difficult the here and now is, because if they make the bad better, it'll be more tolerable, right? It's like instead of pretending like your situation isn't happening, realize that it's happening and work from there. You have to work from reality. You can't work from fantasy. You have to work from reality and build the fantasy, build the dream life, not the other way around. And that's kind of what this person is trying to do, is that they're trying to have the dream without doing the work. So they have to flip it around now and go, okay, what do I got to do? What do I got to do to make my life better, rather than falling into obsession with you and, baby, 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 talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, right? And more, what do I actually got to do so that you and I can really be together and actually, enjoy life together truly. All right, last deck, guys. Last final cards here, and then we'll go into the live readings. All right, we have, okay, so this is a message from them. Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. Okay, so this is a message from them expressing their love for you. And I don't doubt this person's love for you. I genuinely think that if they were in a better position, they would have absolutely no problem giving you whatever you want, whether what you want from them is time, energy, more, you want gifts from them, you want to live with them, you want marriage from them, you want kids from them, whatever it is, whatever you want, this person doesn't think anything you want is crazy or too much. They just they're just not an ocean, you know, they don't have the ocean. They're like a cup, right? They have like a cup. It's like a puddle right now. So that's the reality with them, but if they could, they would. Like, just know that if they could, they would. Okay. All right. We then have transformation. Yes. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Yes. That's why I tell you guys, love is the greatest teacher. Love is the greatest teacher. When you're in love, you will do crazy things. You'll do crazy things. You'll find the effort, the energy, the motivation, the willpower to do things that before you're like, I can't do that. It's too hard, right? But when you know that if I do that, it's going to benefit someone that I love, or I'm going to get someone that I love, you become Superman. And that's the purpose of why the universe has brought you and this person together, is because it's time for both of you in your own individual ways to transform. It's time for both of you to transform. And as you both go through this transformation, your connection is going to deepen because you're the reason for their transformation, and they're always going to have that love for you. Like, it was because of you that I did this. It's because of you that I got to this level. It's because of you that I tried hard. It's because of you that I even went for that. And so I have so much love for you, right? But it's because of all the pain and suffering that this person endures for you that they become linked to you. They become bonded to you forever. And that's what this connection takes. This connection cannot exist without transformation. They have to transform, and so do you. And as you both do that, the connection goes stronger, 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 stronger. So, if you're hitting the first wall and you're like, whoa, what the hell? Well, just know there's more walls ahead. So get used to it, right? Get used to it. Okay, last card. We have romance, okay? Like, I know a lot of this reading has been like really like hard and real and stuff like that. And I think it's just, just the energy we're in right now. It's just a little bit more of like a real time. But, you know, the romance that you guys feel for each other, that is real. It is real. You guys do really mean those things. You guys, um, you know, will experience those things. Okay. You will have romance in this connection, but you will also have transformation. Okay. You'll have romance, you'll have love, you'll have pleasure, you'll have desire and passion, but you will also have obstacles and challenges and barriers. But listen, that is a long term relationship, right? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So it's like, this is almost kind of testing you both, is how bad do you want this? How bad do you want it? Because if you want it, it's going to require stuff just like this. Okay. Alrighty. So that is what I have. That reading was so much more deep than I expected, but hopefully that was helpful for you. That's probably one that you definitely will have to watch multiple times and pull everything out of that one. But if that was helpful, do give it a thumbs up. Let me go ahead and clear the table, and then we will go into our live readings. Alrighty, so let's take a peek at this list. Alrighty, so first up we have Yahaira. And then Jenna. Clinda. Shay, welcome. And Sarah. So I'll write that out for you guys. Yahaira, you can go ahead and post your question. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Jenna, what's your friend's name? Are they here? Are they here in the chat? Okay, yeah. If they're here, then yes. Okay. Alrighty. So for Miss Yahaira, Yahaira wants to know, does HP have no genuine interest in me? So you want to know if this person is not interested in you? That was what I'm guessing you're asking. So let's see. No, I will add you to the list. Give me one sec. You'll be after Sarah, okay? All right, there's our list, guys. Okay, all right, Yahaira, focusing on you. I'm going to ask, does this person have interest in you, okay? So does HP have interest in Yahaira? We have Knight of Cups. Okay, so yeah, this person has interest in you. But, you know, like I was just saying in the general, though they may have interest in you, they may not be able to act that interest out. They may not be in a point or be at a place or in a position where that interest can genuinely lend to something real, tangible that you feel, that you experience. So, Knight of Cups is, you know, yes, definitely interest for sure. But if you are not feeling that from this person, if you're not experiencing that, it's not that the interest is not there. It's just that they're more than likely not in the position or in a place or know how to provide you with an experience with them that makes you feel that way. Okay. Let's see what else. We have the wheel. Yeah, like this connection may be less about, you know, lovey-dovey feelings and romance and feeling good, and more about going to the next level, either together or one of you, through this connection, realizing, okay, this life is asking more of me. I need to evolve. I need to move forward. Okay. I see this a lot when it comes to soulmate connections where they start really hot and heavy, they start really intense, they start super passionate, and then somewhere along the line that like drops off. And it's because the person only came in to kind of trigger you and wake you up and get you kind of shook up a little bit. And then once they do that, then the connection, goes on its way. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here with the wheel. It's like this person maybe came in for a reason or a season, but they may not be a lifetime person, and that's totally okay. Not everyone's going to be a lifetimer in your life, and that's cool. But that doesn't mean they don't serve value or purpose in the season in the moment that they're there. So I'm kind of getting that with this person is that this might be someone that serves a purpose for a particular time, but they may not be, a lifetime person, and that's okay. They maybe did what they needed to do, right? But they may not be sticking around forever. Doesn't mean they don't want to or they're not interested in it, just may not be in the cards. Okay, and then I have the 3 of Cups. Yeah. So the same way you may feel like, oh, does this person like me? He may be feeling the same exact way about you. Does this person like me? So I think it goes both ways. I think that you may feel a type of way or feel triggered by him, but he may also feel a type of way and be triggered by you. He may not say it to you. He may not tell you. More likely than not, a guy's not going to tell you that. He's just going to act out. He's going to act weird or act strange. But it can go both ways. You can be triggering, just like we talked about in the general reading. Literally, you could be triggering someone just because they like you so much and they're afraid you're going to leave them. And that could be a trigger. So it's like you could be the best person in the world and still be a trigger for somebody. So I feel like it goes both ways. I think you're both triggers for each other. And if that's the case, then that's a 100% sign that this is a soulmate karmic connection. And as I was just stating, the way to get through these connections, the way for them to evolve is that you both have to evolve individually and you both have to evolve together, right? You have to transform together, but you have to do it separately, if that makes sense. It's like you're in the same grade and you're taking the same classes and you have the same test, but you both have to take your own individual tests, right? You can't take their test, they can't take your test. You're going to get your grade, they're going to get their grade. And depending on the grades is going to determine, how you're going to proceed forward. So that's kind of what is going on here. So the best way to look at these people is as a mirror and going, okay, what is that person showing me? Is that person showing me that I need to step up? Or is that person showing me that I need to take a step back and stop, doing too much? Align your energy properly with the connection and don't overgive and don't have higher expectations than the situation can handle. Okay. And don't take it as, oh, is he not interested in me? Don't take it as that. Take it more as like, does this does this seem to be adding value? Does this seem to be a situation that's adding value? Am I adding value to his life? Is he adding value to my life? Like, does this make sense? Is this person going up down the same path as me? Think about it more like that. that's another sign to know if someone's for you. If you guys are going down the same path, you want the same exact things, you know. So, kind of think about it a little bit more objectively than like subjectively and like how the person's making you feel and all that. You said that resonates. It got too competitive, so I pulled back. Yeah. So, this person may be trying to fight you, but it's like you're not the problem. They're the problem, or there's something that happened in their life that's the problem. And, they need to come to that realization. They need to realize that themselves that you're not the problem. Maybe you're just the person triggering the problem. Okay. So if you feel like you needed to step back, I think that's very smart. But I wouldn't think of it as like, oh, this person, doesn't have interest in me. I would think of it more as, why did that person feel so triggered by me? Why did that person feel so triggered by me? And what did that bring up for me? And that's your way forward. That's how you get through, is when you take a step back and you look at the situation from like a 10,000 foot view going, what happened there? What happened there? Uh, what was that about? And what was the reason why I experienced that? That's the ticket out. That's the key out. And if you come to the correct answer and he also comes to the correct answer, then that's when things can move forward. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, right? But you still have to take your test, so to speak. Okay? So that would be the question that I would leave you with is, what happened there? What was that all about? And what was that trying to teach me and show me? And how can I integrate that moving forward in my life? Okay. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Good luck. You're welcome. Next up, we have Jenna. After Jenna, we'll have Clinda, Shay, Sarah, and Yagmer. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Welcome. Okay, so for Jenna, she asks, what is the true trajectory of my connection with Zach over the next few months? Is he in love and loyal to me and our connection? Okay, so we'll look over the spring. I don't read too far in advance with tarot because it changes all the time. So we'll look over the springtime. What is the trajectory of Jenna and Zach's connection over the spring? Okay, so your trajectory, we have the Six of Wands. Okay, so what that is saying is that there's a positive trajectory. So things are going to be good, right? Like I feel like there's not a lot to really worry about, looking ahead the next couple of months. Now you ask, is he in love? Queen of Cups, yes. That is a strong yes. He is very much so in love. And is he loyal? We have the Nine of Wands. And the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. So he feels like here's what will happen with him. Okay? Like I was talking about in the general reading. He feels like he needs to work harder for you or be better for you, or he has to work on himself to be able to offer you what you're looking for. So if he feels like he's failing that, if he feels like he's not going to be able to do that, if he feels like he can't make you happy, if he feels like he is going to fail in some way, then he will look elsewhere. Okay. Hi, Sierra. Thank you so much. He will look elsewhere. Okay. So, like, if he feels like he isn't enough for you, and he's like, I'm not going to ever be enough for her. I'm not going to be able to offer her what she's looking for or whatever. If he senses that you might reject him, or um you might walk away, he may go to the trigger first. He may pull the trigger first before you have the chance to do it. So that way he kind of like saves himself. Okay. So that's just something to note with him. Again, it has nothing to do with how much he cares about you, right? It doesn't matter, right? People cheat on people they care about all the time. Cheating is not about not caring enough about the other person. Cheating is when you have a need that you want to be fulfilled and met that you feel like you're not getting from the other person. That's what cheating is. And that's not necessarily like, oh, not giving enough stuff or whatever, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily that. It's like feeling like a man, feeling like he can protect you, feeling like he can provide for you, feeling like he's making you happy. If you're always like wanting more from him, he can never satisfy you. He's never good enough. You never feel safe with him. You're always nagging him for more. He could go off and cheat because he wants someone that gives him that attention. He wants someone that makes him feel good enough. He wants someone that makes him feel like he's doing everything right. He wants someone that makes him feel like he's big and he's strong. And, so if he is not living up to what you want, if he's not, being the type of man you want him to be, and he feels like you can do better than him, then yeah, you know, he can look away. Any guy can do that, right? Any guy can do that. So yes, just know this is always a possibility with every man. And that's why it's important to be with a man that you respect, to be with a man that you really believe in, to be with a man who can genuinely serve you and provide for you. Because if he does those things for you, then you're going to always worship him, right? And that's what men want. They want to feel worship, they want to feel appreciated, they want to feel like they're doing everything right, they want to feel like they're, good to you and things like that. So, you know, that's if he's doing that, then you don't have to worry about that. But if he's not doing that, then yes, you have to worry about that. Okay? And this can happen with any guy. You could be married to a guy for 20 years and he can do that. So that's always, always a reality and always, always a possibility. Okay? Um, you said, yeah, you said he's physically romantically exclusive with you, though he is loyal. I do get anxious just due to the lack of label. Doesn't matter. You can own a house with somebody, both names on the deed, have several children, have a huge rock on your finger, and if the man still doesn't feel like he's enough for you, he will still leave and cheat on you. It's like the label doesn't matter. What matters more is the contents of the relationship. Like, is the relationship helpful for both people? Is it mutually beneficial? Does everyone feel like they're getting their needs met? That's the more important thing. The label's not gonna save you. The label's not going to change anything. There are many people who don't have a label and have children, they own property together, house together, businesses together, no label. And they're the happiest couples in the world with no label. And it's because they don't put a pressure on the label. They don't assign so much meaning to the label that the connection is very healthy, right? Just because someone is your quote unquote boyfriend, quote unquote girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever, doesn't automatically guarantee you any particular outcome, you know? So it's like just focus on the real experience of the relationship. If the experience of the relationship is good, what does it matter? What does it really matter truly? Um, that's just what I would say, especially in the beginning of a connection. It's like this is the time to figure things out. Like this is the time to figure things out before you put a label, because then once you put a label and then you find out bad things about the person, it's like, "Oh my god, I wish I would have known that sooner." But if you would take the time to get to know, then you would find out, and maybe you don't want the label. Maybe you don't even want the label with that particular person once you find out more things about them. So, just take your time to actually get to know the good, the bad, the ugly before you chain yourself to him, because maybe you find out something that you're like, I don't want to be a part of that. And then you have to backtrack and unchain yourself from something that you didn't even want to be chained in to the beginning. Yeah, it's 3 months is nothing. It's nothing. I would say, like, really what you want to look at is you want to look at your astrology. You want to look at your astrology. You want to look and see, do our timelines align? Are we going in the same path? Are we going in the same direction? All of those types of things that will give you a lot more clarity as to whether or not this is, really going in that direction that you're wanting. Like, if you're seeing your marriage timing or significant relationship timing, 1 year, and his is several years later, well, then you kind of know, okay, this probably isn't the person. Maybe they're good for right now, right? Sometimes people are good for the season, right? While you're waiting for the real person, but at least and you just set your expectation properly. So I would look at your astrology, right? Go look at your charts and, move forward, look ahead, see when things are happening, see if those things are lining up. Um, you said you always ground me. I need to rewatch our astrology reading. Yes, definitely. It's because a lot of things are playing out accurately. Also, my job contract got renewed. Yay! And I'm moving in August. Wow, awesome. Um, you said moving towards Zach, which you also saw in our reading. Cool. But you saw him being loyal though. It's dependent. It's dependent upon how things go over the course of the spring. If he feels good in your relationship and he feels like he's enough and he feels like he can actually show up and make you happy, where you're not anxious all the time, where you're not worried about things, you're not stressing, and he feels like you're just happy to be there and you're content, then he'll be much less likely to leave or cheat because he'll feel good about himself. But if he constantly feels like you're wanting him to do something else or be something else or move things faster, you're always unhappy with something in the connection, then definitely the chance is there that he will. I mean, he can't really cheat because you're not really together, but he can look at his options essentially. So, yeah, it's certainly a possibility, and it all just depends on how things proceed. Alrighty. So best of luck to you. You're welcome. All right, next up we have Sierra, and then we'll hop back into the free list. Hello, babes. Okay, let me see what you wrote here. How does Emil feel about us not going on our date? Okay. So most important messages for Sierra, please. How does Emil feel about not going on the date? Okay, I have 4 cards that want to come out. I have the Star card, Ten of Pentacles. Wow, interesting. Queen of Swords, 4 of Pentacles. Wow. He's not stressed about it because he feels like it could happen at any time in the future. Like, it doesn't feel like this was a now or never situation, it could never happen again. That's it. It's done. Like, he doesn't feel so um it doesn't feel so critical, I guess, let's say. Um if it just didn't happen for whatever reason, it's like, okay, fine. It'll happen again in the future when it's meant to happen. We also have the Ton of Pentacles as well, so I feel like in some way he may have been almost relieved that it didn't happen. Like, potentially he was feeling like maybe it was going to be too consequential, let's say, because of the Queen of Swords with the next card. Like, you would have been really sizing him up, like, and he's like, maybe I'll be more desirable or more pleasurable, let's say, or like more he'll get better approval from you in the future, when maybe he's in a different position or something like that. He's doing better or something. So he's a kind of a little bit relieved, to be honest. He feels like you'll get a better outcome from him versus in the future versus where he is right now. We also have the Four of Pentacles as well. He also is feeling too that, like, again, you're like looking for something very specific, or you're not going to open up until you're getting certain things. So he's like, yeah, I know I can't give those certain things. I know I can't be this particular person. So it's kind of like he doesn't feel like he's really losing anything, let's say. He's actually feeling like, okay, I'm kind of like maybe dodging a bullet here, or I'm preventing things from being bad, or I'm preventing like a bad outcome, so to speak, by this not happening because, you know, he doesn't feel like he's going to live up to your expectation or um live up to what you may be looking for. So there's a little bit of relief to be honest with you. So yeah, why did the date not happen? Did someone cancel? What happened? Yeah. So he may be more insecure than you think. Okay, not as confident as you think. Wanting your approval more than you think. He was procrastinating, decreasing the chance and the likelihood that it was actually going to happen. It was more of a protective mechanism. Mhm. It was more of a protective mechanism. Yeah. Yeah, he was trying to um avoid the closeness. Like this would have been too close, too intimate, too meaningful, okay? Like you would have been looking for signs and signals of, is he wanting a relationship, things like that. Like he wasn't feeling like it's just going to be fun, lighthearted, no strings attached. He felt like there were very much so strings attached. He felt like you very much so would have been expecting something, or that this would lead to further dates in the future, or he felt like this was going to be like an escalation, more less than like, oh, two people just kicking it and having fun and getting to know each other. He feels like this was going to be like more serious, and he knew like he wasn't going to perform well. So he was just kind of like, "Oh yeah, no, I don't think so. I'm like working, not sure, not writing back," is kind of more of like, "Oh, okay, it didn't happen." Um, you know, it's more of a way for him to be like, without saying no, kind of be like, "Get out of it, okay?" Exactly. It feels very all or nothing with you. It feels very black and white, and he's not black and white. He doesn't know what he wants with you. He doesn't know what he wants in general, okay? He's just like he's figuring it out as he goes. He's finding his way as he goes. And, with you, he senses that you're interested in him, so that's why he engages, but then he also senses that also you're not really open for fun or things like that. It's like you're looking for someone that knows. So that's why he's like, "Oh, I don't know." He's not really coming direct because he's like, "I don't really know. I don't really know what I want. So that's why he wasn't following up, being like, "Yeah, no, I want this," because he doesn't know what he wants. It's not like a diss to you. It's not like, "Oh, I'm not interested." It's not a diss to you. It's just a reflection of where he currently is right now. You said, "A man with no direction is not for me." Yep. He said, I've said what I need and want. He still wants to engage. Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna take what he can get. He'll take what he can get, but if you're needing someone that like knows what they're doing and is gonna take the lead, this ain't it. This is not it. Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. And I have the Hermit at the bottom of the deck, which shows like, you know, he will be on the sidelines watching you with somebody else. Okay? Potentially waiting for his chance again in the future. Okay? So it's not a diss to you. It's not I don't like you. Da 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 da. It's nothing like that. It's more of him. I don't know what I want. I don't want to show up to something and I fail the test, right? I come unprepared and I fail. He's avoiding rejection. And it's better to avoid rejection than to potentially get like chosen by you. He'd rather just avoid the whole situation altogether. Yes, honey. Yes, yes, yes. So that's what it is with him. All right, girl, good luck. You're very, very welcome. And next up, we have Clinda. You're welcome. Thank you so much. For Clinda, she asks, what is the characteristics, personality trait of my next long-term partner? Okay. What does Clinda need to know about her next long-term partner? What characteristics or personality traits should she look for? What should she expect? Okay, we have the Justice card. Okay, so this person could be a Libra or a Libra rising or a Libra moon, but more than just that, this person may be very charming, very handsome, very good looking, like someone that people across the board would say that's a good looking guy. Okay. So, and not even that good looking, just someone who's like very balanced, like they're very balanced, they're soft. Okay, like even though he's a man, like he wears like soft colors or he has like a soft nose or he has like soft features. He's not like hard, okay? He's very pleasing to look at and many women may be attracted to him, okay? He could be someone who is um an intellectual, someone who is a people person, someone who likes to talk, talk a lot, but someone who's good at connecting and someone who's very good at finding the middle ground between himself and other things. We then have the 3 of Wands. This person could be, quite a dreamer. Again, I'm also getting I'm getting Aquarius. I don't know why Aquarius is, like, coming through for this, but someone who's, like, a dreamer, someone who's very, passionate about things. They have a dream and they go for it. They figure it out. They talk to people, they network, they figure things out, okay? And you're a Libra moon too. Okay, so that would be an indication of a very strong soulmate, right? If you had someone that had a Libra placement, that would be very significant for you specifically. So yeah, someone who they'll find a person, right? If I have a dream, let me find the person who can help me do the dream. So that's kind of how they operate. And then I have the 8 of Cups. This person may be recently, like before you meet them, they may have gotten out of like a really long-term relationship, something really serious, someone who they were very devoted to. They may have a lot of I don't want to say baggage, but like they have a lot of very significant history with another individual that kind of makes it hard. They're kind of comparing, let's say, um, the connection they had with that person with everybody else just because it was so significant. Like maybe it was just like a really long term connection. So everything just gets compared, or like when I was with so and so, or da 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 da. Like a lot of their life experiences may have been with the person. So it's like it's not baggage, it's just more of like mm, how can I describe it? It's just a chapter of their life. They can't just forget that it happened or just ignore that it happened. It's like they're not going to do that. They're always going to remember that person just because they had so many significant experiences with them. That person was developmental for them. That person was formative for them. It just had a lot of weight, like it has a lot of weight. So that's another thing, they may say, "Oh, I just got out of a relationship," or whatever. You ask them about their last relationship and they're like, "Oh, I was with someone for 10 years." They tell you something crazy like that. And you're like, "Whoa," like that's a really long-term relationship. And it's like, yeah. So, it shows you that they're a relationship person, but it also shows like, they do have a lot of yeah, just a lot of memories with another person, I guess you can say. So that's another thing that you will probably see with them. All right. Which, if this person is Libra, they probably have that. They probably would have that, and it would be quite significant for them. So, nothing I think that is probably out of the ordinary for this person. Alrighty. So, hopefully, that is helpful for you. Next up, we have Shay. It doesn't appear, Clinda, it doesn't appear so. It appears that it's just something significant. It's just a way to identify the person. And if Shay is not here, then Sarah, you can go ahead and post your question. You're welcome. And if Sarah is not here, Yag Mur, you can post your question. For Yagmer, you asked, can I ask Jack's feelings for me and what may happen next between me and him? He reached out a week ago, but the connection is still wobbly and he is resisting opening up emotionally. Okay. What are Jack's feelings for Yagmer? Okay, I have the moon coming out. I have the Empress coming out. I have the Queen of Wands coming out. Whoa. Two of Cups. Holy crap. This is crazy. Okay, so I think there's a different way for you to frame this with this person. You may be framing it as, oh, he's not opening up to me, he's not talking to me. He's not, doing this, me, right? And it's not really about you. It's more about him and that he is feeling a lot of strong feelings, but not knowing what to do with them, not knowing how to express them, not knowing how to take them and form them and like a normal like if like a girl, right? If we feel these feelings, we talk about it, right? Just like you and I are talking about it. We're all here talking about our feelings. We're very good at talking about how we feel, right? We can very easily our heart and our mouths are connected and it's very easy to speak. But for men, these things are not connected. So it's like his head speaking Chinese and his heart speaking German. It's like they're speaking different languages and he knows what he feels and he feels what he feels, but he doesn't know what to do about it. He doesn't know what to express it. He doesn't know how to he doesn't know what to do. So that's more of what it is. This is just very intense for him. It's a lot. It's difficult. So, trust your intuition, trust your gut because you probably feel that he likes you and that's true, and you should trust that. But what you shouldn't do is you shouldn't automatically assume that just because he has feelings that it's going to develop into anything or especially if he can't express those feelings especially then really I just wouldn't expect anything of it. I wouldn't think more of it because, feelings without actions is just nothing essentially, really nothing. Feelings are like, you know, gone with the wind. It's really actions that tell you where a person at is at. So, yeah, maybe he's in his shell or whatever, but that shows you where he's really at. If he's in his shell, then he's not going to be able to give you anything. You can't have a relationship with somebody that's in their shell. So, you know, what I would do in that situation is I would just let it go, meaning let go of any expectations, let go of any, preconceived ideas or notions, let go of any ideas of, oh, if only this or if only that, like don't start making it more in your head than what it is. All the connection is what you're getting from him. And if you're getting nothing from him, then you have nothing. You're working with nothing and stay realistic about that fact. Stay realistic about the fact that it's giving nothing. It doesn't matter what the reason is, because if a man is really liking you and really loving you, he will push past every single barrier, every single obstacle, every single challenge. He will move mountains, he will drain oceans, he will go to extreme lengths for a woman that he loves and that he's afraid to lose. But if he's more concerned with preserving himself more than making sure that you know his feelings for you, then he's just simply not in the position to have a relationship, okay? Period. It's just that simple. So just remain realistic, pay attention to his actions, not your intuition, right? Your intuition as a woman is very strong and very powerful and can be very imaginative, but you have to look at men at face value. What they're giving you is what they're giving you, and that's that, okay? So, it's like if the facts of the situation are he lives in a different country. Okay, so you have physical separation, you have emotional separation. Okay. Well, you're already down 2 strikes, right? So, just stay realistic. The feelings that you feel are real, okay? Yes, there's a deep connection. Yes, he thinks you're beautiful. Yes, he loves the way you carry yourself. Yes, he would love to have a connection with you. But, big but, he can't do anything about it. He can't do anything about it. So it's like, okay, it's that's kind of where he's at. I don't see him at this particular moment in time taking any action on that or there being any significant changes. So it's kind of just like, you know, a feeling that you sort of have to navigate and learn from this, like learn from that and learn exactly that to trust your intuition, but also to pay attention to a man's actions, more than his words before you begin to get emotionally uh, invested. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful for you. You're welcome. Okay, Sarah, whenever you are here, just let me know. You're welcome. My pleasure. Hello, Karen. How are you? Thank you so much for your question. So, you want to know what are Ali's? Hopefully, I'm saying that right. I'm going to say A. What are A's feelings towards Karen, please? What are A's feelings towards Karen? Okay. So I have the Temperance card coming out. Interesting. This person feels like you are a healer, okay? And they may not necessarily be saying it to themselves like that, but they feel like there's something about your energy that is very healing. There's something about you that makes this person feel like things are going to be okay. They may be drawn to you for they maybe have were like initially drawn to you, let's say for your looks, right? Your physical appearance, and then come to find out that there's more behind your looks. There's more behind your physical appearance. That you have a really good soul, and that's something that maybe was like an unexpected perk or benefit of you, but really this person is realizing that that's like the good part about you. So I feel like this is sort of like in a way confusing for this person because they see the value that you hold, but it's like not what they were looking for or like not what they didn't come for that, let's say. So they're like kind of in this weird spot with you where they still want to get their initial desires met, but they feel like you are just a very different person to what they were initially thinking. Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper there. Yeah, Ace of Cups. Yes, definitely. This person is very interested in you, and even though maybe this person isn't really looking for a relationship, so to speak, um, they do feel like you are a good person to be connected to. So this person may sort of like hover around you, or they may sort of like be there, but not take any action, not like they may not do anything, let's say, but they're just kind of there, and you're like, why are they there? And they're kind of like, I don't know, I just want to be here. So there's like a uncertainty there. They just like your energy, essentially. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. So you also could be someone that is good to be around. In the sense of that you also bring grounding as well. This may be someone that's not grounded, needs grounding, okay? Um, could lack some stability in some way, shape, or form, let's say. And they may feel like you are grounded, or just your energy, your presence, your vibe is grounding, okay? So yeah, there's something very calming. If I had to sum it up, there's something very calming about you to this person. They don't really understand it. They don't really fully get it, but you know, he just knows that he kind of likes what he feels here, okay? Like that's the extent of what he knows. Okay. So, yes, he doesn't exactly. So, in terms of like answering your initial question, like, what does he feel for you? It's almost like he doesn't really It doesn't it's like he doesn't really feel anything specific for you, he just knows he has feelings for you. That's it. That is it. Okay? So hopefully that is helpful for you. So it's just one question for the free reading. If you wanted to donate for more, you absolutely can. You're welcome. Good luck.